Good, should we start?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome to session sync. Thanks for coming this early. I know it's early, everybody wants to sleep a little bit more, but yeah, let's think about Web3. Let's talk about Web3 this time. So the title is called Can Japan Become Asia's Web3 Hub? It's a huge topic. But today we more like to make it like smaller scale. As an entrepreneur, why should we do Web3 business? And why should we do that in Japan? I'm thinking about in a larger scale that if as an entrepreneur, how can we contribute to the Web3 ecosystem in Japan? So let's start from the introduction of our panelists. So first, Sota, would you like to introduce about yourself?
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much for coming today. My name is Sota Watanabe, founder of Started Lab and Asta Network. Asta is the public blockchain which was born in Japan. And I think one of the largest protocol blockchain in Japan. And we have been working with a lot of the enterprises and also governments and so on to utilize the Web3 technology in a world. In another world, it's all about the Web3 mass adoption. Yeah, thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you. Web3 adoption. Give him a pause. And next we have Ryusuke from FSA.
Thanks. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tokyo for those coming all the way from different countries. And I am Ryusuke Yoshida, a Chief FinTech Officer of Japan Financial Services Agency, which is an integrated financial regulators of Japanese government. So in some countries, central bank regulates stablecoin and crypto. And in different countries, security regulators regulate crypto. But in case of Japan and FSA, as both banks, crypto, and security regulators, we regulate almost everything about crypto industry. And we try to be an innovation-friendly regulator. Thank you.
Regulate everything. Thank you. And then we have Yuki from CoinDesk Japan.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Yuki Kaimoto, the CEO of Enavenue Inc. We've been involved in this space for around 5 years and consistently dedicated into building up the most trusted neutral media platform and education. And we have two services. One is the Japanese edition of the global largest crypto news media CoinDesk, and also the other thing what we do is the prominent Web3 business community in Japan, which we operate as a paid corporate membership for major companies in Japan who are looking for a business opportunity in Web3. Thank you.
Thank you. A lot of big corporations,
Yeah.
right? For example?
For example, you mean to our community?
Yes.
Yeah, like NTT, Docomo, Nomura, many like various industries. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks so much. And yeah, let's start from the first question for today. So I think most of people sitting here now like very into crypto. So let's start from a fundamental question. So what is Web3 and what's the merit for us to do a Web3 business as an entrepreneur? So maybe I think we have some like current business very successful overseas or in Japan. But yeah, like recently the Web3 become a hot topic. So wait, should we do that or should we just give up? So yeah, Sota, could you explain easily for everybody, so what is Web3?
Yeah, sure. I think I can talk about Web3 for, let's say, 5 hours or more, even more.
If we had time, yeah.
Yeah, I have time, but I don't have time today. So to make it short, Web3, because it's three, there is Web 1 and Web 2. Web 1 is all about readable web. So you can see information on the web, and you can go another page through the link, right? And Web 2 is all about readable and writable. Mm-hmm. So it's like Instagram or maybe Twitter or maybe Facebook. You can read, at the same time you can post. And Web 3 is all about readable, writable, and all about ownership.
Oh.
Yeah, before blockchain, thanks to internet, a lot of the information is democratized. So you can send the PowerPoint to the people who live in the US or who live in Europe. But what you are exactly doing is you make a copy of the PowerPoint in a local environment in your laptop and send the copy to the people, right? This accelerates the democratization of the information, which is good. But on the digital world, it was impossible to send money or maybe equity without centralized company or authorities. But through blockchain, what we can do is to make digital value on the top of internet. And then you can send the value to others. Right? So in this sense, Web3 is all about the internet of value. And the great things is all about ownership. And thanks to this ownership, you can own the cryptocurrency in your pockets instead of the bank, and you can own the non-fungible token, or you can own security token and so on your pocket. It means you control everything. If you do not want to control, you can rely on cryptocurrency exchange or bank, but it's all about increasing the choice to the people. You can own or you can rely on. And yeah, thanks to the ownership, right? It's a new concept of introducing property rights in a digital world. In a modern society, thanks to property rights, a lot of the company, a lot of the great products are born. Without property rights in a real world, there is no Google, there is no Sony, nothing. Because of the property rights, this is kind of the innovation happening right now. And the concept of Web3 is introducing property rights, ownership in a digital world. This is my definition. But the great thing is, definition is not decided yet because our industry is just too early. So you can be a part of the movements and you may be able to define Web3 and the potential. That's why I'm really excited about.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's why we all have a chance, right? To be successful than those big corporations.
Yeah,
right.
If government allows.
Yeah, I'll ask Ryosuke about the laws later. So Yuki, can you introduce some successful stories of Web3s globally and in Japan? So what kind of business is actually happening?
I rather to explain what's going on, the global trend first. And try to explain what I see as simply as I can. So it's been about 15 years since Bitcoin was born. And even when you look at the numbers of the market cap of the crypto, you see it became around $2 trillion US market for such a short time. And interesting thing is that there is no single particular leaders from in this space other Web 1, Web 2, and it's became this volume. It's along with the decentralized, its core decentralized idea concept. It's really amazing, but we see recently different trend as well, which is some people say goodbye CZ, hello Wall Street. I'll explain what it is. So CZ is the founder and ex-CEO of the Binance, as you might heard of it.
Largest crypto exchange.
Yeah, he was one of the person who most contributed to create this free, borderless, decentralized world. But he was actually arrested a while ago, and he was almost gone from this space. Yeah, and in the other hand, Wall Street means traditional financial institutions in Wall Street, BlackRock, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, they noticed the potential of this tokenization and also the value of Bitcoin as one of the financial asset classes, and they came into this world. And then the biggest event that happened because of that is that US SEC approved the first US Bitcoin spot ETF in the beginning of this year. And this means opening up the Bitcoin's exposure to much wider audiences who don't even need to understand like the system behind it or like the complex usability to trade and hold crypto assets safely. So what I see is this big change. Of course, its core idea and the concept of decentralization and those kind of projects evolving, expanding as well. But it's really interesting to see the fact, and kind of ironic to see the fact that the mass adoption, how the mass adoption was being brought by these centralized, regulated service by traditional institutions. That's what I see.
So the big players are moving and getting to crypto and Web3. Okay, so as an entrepreneur, you raised a very interesting question that you mean like CZ was get arrested. So as an entrepreneur, I'm really curious about, is Web3 business legal? So if I do a big web business here, should I be getting arrested like a CZ, right? Liu-Se, can you expand about like, is Web3 business legal? Or what part is legal, what part is illegal?
Of course. So the short answer is yes, as long as you are complying with our regulatory requirement. But when we look at the kind of global kind of trend of crypto asset regulation, so crypto has been creating so many challenges and problems for crypto for the last decade. So North Korean affiliated cyber attackers has been storing more than $1 billion equivalent of crypto assets almost every year. And then there's so many scams and then consumer protection damage. So then one of them was 10 years ago that happened at Mt. Gox, which was the largest Bitcoin exchange at that time. So indeed, the number of countries prohibiting crypto assets trading has been increasing these days, especially in the Asian and the MENA region. But in Japan, we do not take that approach. So we kind of acknowledge the importance of future innovation that the blockchain technology could bring. And then when we think about the internet history, internet was used for scam and then porn and then some bad things just 30 years ago. And then no one believed it could be used for the financial transaction like the internet banking or some kind of cashless payment. But now it's indispensable underlying technology. So without that, we cannot live with something like COVID and the pandemic situation. So we should thank the internet developers in the past. So likewise, we should have a long-term views on crypto and the future of blockchain technologies. So we try to mitigate the risks such as AML safety, scam, and then financial stability, and then try to strike a balance between achieving innovation in Japan and then have a safe environment for everyone. So with that, very quick. So we already have a comprehensive framework for crypto assets, stablecoin, and then real world asset tokenization. So different regulations should apply depending on the characteristics and the use case and the business model of each individual players. But anyway, our regulation is transparent, I'd say, and then we are happy to discuss if you have any question and then inquiries about what you can do and you cannot do in Japan. Thanks.
Yeah, so thank you. I think this is, in Japan, is pretty transparent. So I think as a conclusion, this is legal. The Web3 is legal, but you have to understand the regulations of each country if you want to expand your business, Web3 business there. Am I right? Okay, I'll dig about this question later. Cool, thanks so much. And sorry, I forgot to do my self-introduction. Sorry, my name is V+. I'm the head of IBS Crypto, which is the largest blockchain event in Japan. So last year we had about 10,000 people coming to Kyoto. And this year we do it again, actually, with Yuki, actually, doing an even bigger event series called Japan Blockchain Week together. So we're honored to be the moderator here. Okay, let's move to the second question. So now we can see like Web3 have a lot of opportunities and big players moving into Web3, and also Web3 is legal. Yeah, in many cases. So yeah, why Japan? Why we be coming here, sitting here in Tokyo to try to start a Web3 business? So Yuki, can you introduce a little bit about like what is the position of Japan in the global like Web3 ecosystem? So like what kind of things we can actually do in Japan?
Sure. Yeah, to build on what Ryosuke mentioned earlier, to explain what has been happening in Japan, I need to explain that there was, how to say, long, quiet, dark season of the crypto for the last about 2 years because of the sudden loss of the trust occurred by one big, huge fraud.
Yeah, Box.
Sorry, I meant FTX. Yeah, some of that, but yeah, FTX. So that was a huge thing to the market. So the biggest crypto exchange back then was suddenly collapsed because of that. Yeah, and it was not only FTX and other crypto enterprise and also projects as well. They're like all gone.
Yeah, the
So-
people who had money in FTS, they
Right.
lost the money. But in Japan,
Japan, yeah, it was different. So most of the countries became conservative because of that. But meanwhile, in Japan, so the government leaders like Ryosuke-san,
thank you, Ryosuke.
yes, so kept believing the potential of Web3 and worked so hard to hear the voices of the entrepreneurs like Sota-san and actually built many of regulatory frameworks sooner than other countries. And this clearer than other countries, I mean, clear rules led major companies in Japan like NTT Docomo or Sony to like decide go in this market, like invest somehow to this Web3. And then this also led international global enterprise and project get more attention to Japan as one of the potential Web3 hub. So many of global projects are now actually entering Japan or try to do something in Japan, which is really exciting to us.
Thanks so much. Yeah, so the regulation is pretty clear, and then big players like NTT or whatever, Sony are moving, and that means we can do. There's a lot of chances to do it. So yeah, we can break this to more details. I think we can ask Ryosuke. So how this policy has been made? We have FSA definitely. We also have some other regulators. So how a policy of cryptocurrency have been made? And yeah, so can you expand about it? And how as a like normal entrepreneur, how could we get into understand more about these policies?
Of course, and then just to add Yuki-san's point about FTX, so I would say our regulation is not weak or easy for players. Rather, our requirement is quite high compared to many other countries. And then some industry players has been criticizing us for our regulation is too tight and it's not good for innovation. But when FTX incident happened, kind of our regulation like cold wallet requirement worked to some extent to protect customers. And then other countries are now installing similar type of regulations. So I think we will achieve level playing field in the near future, so that if you choose any countries, you have to comply with similar type of requirements. So in terms of regulation, we are going to we are moving to the right direction, I think. And then to your point, so I think Web3 is one of the few areas that policy makers is taking a leading role in policy making. So typically, especially in finance, usually government officials like FSA prepare some draft for the amendment of regulation, and then we ask lawmakers to accept our changes, and then there is a discussion at the Diet, and then the amendment will be finally approved. But Web3 is more kind of top-down approach led by policymakers, and then they had a project team to discuss what we should do to encourage Web3 innovation, and then relevant ministry, FSA, digital agency, Ministry of Economy, and then relevant ministries are working together to achieve that goal set by policymakers. I think this is a very good way of policy making, and then the FSA is just a part of big government, but many activities are related to finance, and then issuing tokens has a financial implication because it's internet of value rather than just the internet of communication. So FSA should play a huge role going forward, but of course we can work together with other ministry, and importantly, global cooperation is also necessary. So we are also working together with other regulators in the world.
Thanks so much. I think like the very good point is like collaborate with the actual company, like definitely ASTA and some like global corporations. So the regulations are getting updated year by year, right? Am I right?
Yeah. So it's kind of my personal opinion, but if let's say cold wallet requirement, for example, so it's currently more than 95% of customers' assets needed to be stored in offline environment. But technology is developing, such as kind of multi-party computation wallet, for example. So, and then DeFi should be connected to online anytime. So cold wallet won't work when it comes to the DeFi arrangement. So, and we have to monitor the development of technology and the market, and then we try to accommodate such kind of development, and then as a result, we could change our regulation as agile as possible.
Wow, thanks so much. Yeah. And the last question comes to Sota. I think like ASTA, I think everybody knows ASTA, like, which is like Japan's #1 blockchain. So yeah, I just want to like as an entrepreneur, I would like to ask you about like why we choose Japan, or why we integrate those Japan elements to my business, like to do some business activities in Japan. Like why Japan is good for doing Web3 business. And can you share with your ASTA story?
Yeah, of course. I would like to share the reason why Japan needed to work on Web3. Mm-hmm. I think Japan is good at a lot of the domain. Let's say entertainment, sightseeing, maybe sushi, which is amazing. But the main domain in the world is IT, mm-hmm. and we are losing here for 30 years. And the reason why the Web3 is really good is Web3 is very, very, very controversial. Some people said yes, some people said very definitely no. Very controversial. And winning market, US, is kind of hesitate to work on a new technology because they won in Web 2, and SEC is very, very strict. Mm-hmm. And the FSA, the Japanese government is much better in terms of the regulation stuff. And if I'm an entrepreneur, and if I see what to work on, if this is the proven domain, it's too late, mm-hmm. right? Someone already take the big pie of the market already. It's unproven. That's why the entrepreneur should go, right? So Web3 is controversial, which is good. But if we see Bitcoin, let's say, Bitcoin is there for 15 or 16 years right now, and everyone can access, and everyone can try to hack 24/7, yeah. But which has never hacked before, even though this is accessible for everyone. So in this sense, I think technology is pretty solid. But there are a lot of the hacks in a domain between the real world and the blockchain. Mm-hmm. So it's not a blockchain's technology, mm-hmm. but how to manage blockchain. So if we really think about tech, this is solid technology, but the society is not ready yet. So that's why I see huge potential here. That's right. And in 20 or 30 years, a lot of the industry and the Web3 will be integrated in a lot of the industry and a lot of the services. And in that case, we can make next Google, we can make next Apple. We do have a potential, but we do need to have the global mindset to start a business global from day one and see Japan as the one of the market. So speaking about your question, I'm Japanese, and we originally from Japan. In this sense, winning in the US market is pretty tough if I go without nothing. So it is really important to make the narrative like backed by Japan. So that's why we intentionally received a fund from Sony, Samsung, and one of the top banks from Singapore. So we are trying to make the backed by Asia narrative. And then I'm moving to the US this year, if everything goes well. So it's like a narrative game in some sense. So we can leverage the regulation, the people, money, narrative globally. Then go to the US or maybe Europe in a lot of the places to make a strong presence. So in this sense, Web3 is global from day one, and having the Japanese company as a partner or investor are really important for us to make a strong presence there.
Cool. So even for foreign entrepreneurs, if they want to enter Japan to do Web3 business, do you think it's still a good choice?
I think still good because the regulation is getting clearer and clearer, and Japan is one of the few countries which makes the Web3 as a national strategy. So a lot of big companies are really interested in working on Web3. But in terms of the retail market, probably the power is weak. So we need some improvements in the retail regulation.
For example?
For example, tax rate.
So can you expand about like the issues on the tax now for the retail market? Okay, yeah. I can explain a little bit. Yeah, if you hold like to trade crypto, you had to be being taxed. But as a like company, if you just release your token by yourself, you don't need to pay extra tax anymore, right?
Yeah, as a company, usually to pay a lot, but this law regulation has been already changed. So there is no tax on unrealized gain for companies. So which is good. So the regulation is getting better and better, and the communication distance between the governments and the entrepreneur, the startup, is very close. So which is really good things. In the US, they're always fighting each other. The SEC send a notice to Uniswap, say bad things of the SEC on Twitter, whatever. So we value harmony. They value competition.
Yeah, to give some more background about this law, the change of law, this law is actually called Watanabe law. because the company have to pay the extra tax for even the token they have like minted, they had released. So that make Watanabe Sota went to Singapore to start the business. So like to call back those young great entrepreneurs back to Japan, the law changing law named as titled as Watanabe law.
Sota problem.
Sota problem.
Watanabe law, it's more strong.
Yeah. I didn't make a problem.
Okay, Sota problem. And the solution is Watanabe law. Okay. Okay. Let's move to the last section. So I think we got a lot of opportunities to do Web3 business in Japan, and as an entrepreneur, we really want to further contribute to the growth of the society in Japan, and maybe to make Japan as Asia's Web3 hub. So let's think about how we make this environment better from the contribution from both foreign entrepreneurs and also Japanese entrepreneurs who choose to expand the business in Japan. So start with you.
Sorry, I think this is better, right?
I guess so.
So speaking about blockchain and Web3, it's like it's analogy, but it's like iron or maybe a steel. We can make, let's say, house with wood, or we can make house with iron, steel. then we can make a stronger house. But if we use steel or iron, we can make a knife,
Yeah.
right? At the same time. So technology make humans' life better and worse. So the important thing is to clearly explain how to use this strong technology in a good way to the government. And obviously the government have to regulate knife, the bad side of the technology. But if government regulate everything, that's gonna be a nightmare. So technology is pretty much neutral, and they have good way and bad way. So I think productive conversation is necessary, and what we really need is the killer use case created by the Japanese founder or Japanese companies to make really strong presence in Japan. So, and this use case needed to be global. Then a lot of the people, outside of Japan see Japan as the leading country of Web3. So this is what I would like to do in coming 3 years. So productive two-way conversation and global use case. This is what we need.
So we cannot figure out, like, we cannot think like the government are the enemy, right? We had to talk, because
Friend.
we are friends, because we are entrepreneurs, we have to talk more with the government and regulators. Yeah, so it comes to Ryosuke, so yeah, how do you think, like, in the future, 3 or 5 years, like FSA and the Japanese government will work with the entrepreneurs and make some like new like regulations and policies?
Sure. So we are not enemy to innovation and the Web3 and entrepreneurs. And then what we want is use case, as Yuta-san mentioned. So a lot of Web3 guys talk about financial inclusion and then some kind of public commons type use case that blockchain technology could bring. But we don't see that use case as of now. That's why. And then rather, regulators identify a lot of problems rather than good use cases. So to convince regulators and society at large, we definitely need a tangible use case that could solve our social problems, like revitalization of regional economy and then cross-border challenges. So we are looking for that future development of that use case, and then maybe technologies should be further development. So I might slightly disagree with what Soto-san mentioned, but if we think about cross-chain bridge and then some DeFi protocol, there is so many vulnerabilities embedded in the technology itself. So I think we need a good security to prevent terrorist financing from North Korea, for example. So we expect both business and then technological development. And then, of course, regulators should be important stakeholders for the sustainable development of this ecosystem. And then we try not to be too strict to not to stifle innovation, but we have to protect the customers and then prevent financial crimes and then ensure financial stability. So our goals don't change, but we have to change our way of approach because this is decentralized ecosystem, so we may not apply entity-based regulations that we typically apply for banks and insurance companies. And then we definitely need an input from industry because to develop a policy that makes sense to every stakeholder. So thank you very much.
Yeah. So it's not only to stop the minus part, but we also see about the plus part and the future potentials of a Web3 business, and to how to think about how to encourage by making the policies, right? Yeah, so if you had any questions, so please talk with Ryosuke. Hey, he's the one regulator you can meet. It's like AKB48, right? Like the idol you can meet.
So we are friendly, like wearing this cute hoodie. So please come to us anytime.
Yeah, we do have a booth at FSA this time, right? Where's the booth?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's, I think, a stage, main stage, just in front of the main stage. We have a FSA booth. We have a fintech support desk to answer any questions that you might have to comply with not only crypto, but every financial regulation. So please stop by.
Oh, that's great. Okay, thanks so much. And Yukilo, so as like a perspective of media and our community, so how we can promote, how we can help Japan to make Japan as Asia's like Web3 hub.
Yes. So to expand the Web3 business in Japan, we need to get more credit and trust to this market and space. And one thing that we can do as our mission is to omit like scammy information as much as we can, and deliver the trusted and neutral sources to Japanese readers. And also, what we can another thing that we can do is to promote it, like for example regulation and this evolving situation to abroad as well. And this is not what we can do as a media, but the other thing that we think important is to, like Soda said, like how to manage and deliver crypto asset to users in Japan. And in terms of this point, like large companies who has already existing user bases and services will be really important. Yeah. One. Do we have still time? Yeah. One case is Mercari. Mercari. Yes, it's the biggest C2C e-commerce service in Japan, and they started the service to users that they can change their revenue of the C2C marketplace to Bitcoin, and also trade products with Bitcoin as well about a year ago, and it became really like successful.
Yeah.
And I think they accounted for about 60 or 70% of the all crypto accounts opened last year.
Yeah, now we have about 10 million crypto accounts,
yes,
right?
yes,
But 60% are from Mercari.
For about last year, yes. Last year
okay.
accounts. Yeah, so this, let's whole new specific needs for users to use crypto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what's going to happen this year more, I think. That's important.
Okay. How about like global collaboration? Because we're talking about like Japan in an Asian context.
Right.
So how do you think should we contribute in like the global ecosystem in blockchain?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so that's the community and information, I think. So information layer, we can do something as a media, and also the community level. So because we have this really good communication with government, entrepreneurs, engineers, all the community, this ecosystem is evolving. So it's important to get more international wave to Japan as well. So that's why it's important to go to IBS and Japan Blockchain Week that we're hosting this July. Yeah, so it's really lucky that we have many conferences, global conferences in Japan this year. Maybe too many, but yeah, there will be many chances for you to get in this space, I think.
Cool. Yeah, I know you're the founder of Beat Tokyo, right? Which is like one of the first blockchain conference in Japan, right?
Yes, right. We had held 3 times the biggest blockchain conference in the past, but now we are more focused on focusing on the community itself, content itself. But yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, so we have Beat Tokyo and we have Non-Fungible Tokyo. It's an NFT conference from 2018. At that time, also we had IBS Crypto, which started from 3 years ago. So all 3 stakeholders getting together and form a big Japan Blockchain Week from 4th of July to the end of July. So we are attracting about 50,000 people attendees from all over the world to make one of the largest crypto conference series in the world, actually. So yeah, please let us know if you're interested in come. We can send you some coupon code.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks so much. And yeah, so last, maybe let's just give some advice to all the audience here. If you're interested in Web3, so what should we do from the day one? So yeah, we start from Sota. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We don't have much time, so I would like to predict what's coming in the future. So right now, only 3% of the people are using Web3 in a world. I mean, human being. But in coming 5 years, it's going to be more than 1 billion people. So 15% or 16% of the human being. And it will be, above 50% or maybe 60% by 2040. So it's going to be internet in the long run. And to do this, I think I see huge potential on customer experience, user experience, Web3 technology. So I think within 5 years, we are going to be able to transfer the crypto in stablecoin and a lot of the token on blockchain with Gmail or Twitter handle, whatever, without knowing which blockchain to use. Right now, everybody care about I'm using Ethereum, Solana, whatever. But internet, no one care about I'm using GCP, I'm using AWS. It's gonna be the same, just blockchain. And then people are going to transfer the money with ID. And in 10 years, I think a lot of the value will be tokenized on chain. So you may be able to have this conference ticket on your pocket, or maybe the ownership of the Tokyo Tower, whatever, on your pocket, and you can exchange the value 24/7. So this can be possible within 10 years. So, and that's why we received a fund from the big Web2 enterprises. So we are backed by Sony and Samsung. In the sense, theoretically speaking, we can, reach out to billion of the people. So our focus is going to be the customer technology, customer experience technology, UX and UI, in terms of the Web3. So I'm really, really excited about this.
Me too. We're excited about it. We don't need those paper anymore, which is great. Okay, Ryosuke.
Sure. So 2 points. So we should make this movement to the wider society, as Sota-san mentioned. So when we think about income tax for retailers, so that tax should be decided by not only Web3 community but also done by consensus by society, because tax is ultimately used for the healthcare and then constructing road and for the social purposes. So that should be decided by the wider society. And in that sense, media should play a huge role, because maybe if we ask people in this conference, do you like crypto or not? Maybe many people don't like crypto. So we have to change such reputation unnecessarily. In that sense, we should convey a good message, good use case, and a good kind of present a good future for the society. And the second point is, please feel free to come to FSA for the discussion. So especially for those working for banks and then traditional financial sector, maybe you didn't have a good kind of customer experiences in talking with FSA officials, but we try to update our way of doing. So we try to be a good interface to be a bridge between Web3 industry and our supervisory colleagues. So let's work together.
Yeah, which is don't be nervous. Talk with the regulators to, make a friend, make us a startup partner, co-founder with the government. Okay.
Yeah, just one thing briefly. So it's still really early phase. Web3 is really early phase, and only innovators and early adopters are building this world. So easiest way for you to get in this space is just to get to someone in this space and just get in this space, learn something from the trends, everything from them. So I hope this today session will be a good opportunity for you to get in. Thanks.
Great, find a mentor, right?
Yes.
Find a mentor from us, right? Yeah. Thanks so much. I think we're running out of time, but yeah, we will be around here for a few minutes. So after this session, please talk with us, ask any question you want. And don't forget to join Japan Blockchain Week and IBS Crypto this year. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for an interesting panel discussion.
Thank you.
ご登壇いただきました皆様ありがとうございました。